out of it. The light dome.
Yes, indeed. We're back again. I'm just doing a quick sound check. 1 2 1 2. Okay. Hopefully, you could hear my voice pretty good. This is your brother, Questman, aka Abdul Wadu, coming at you live. Soul Journey of Life, Conscious Social Media. And yes, indeed, we're back in the mix. It's midnight. Okay, let's go ahead. I'd like to begin by greeting the viewers. Salam alaikum, shalom, hotep, peace and blessings be with you, and welcome. The word I'd like to start off with is the struggle is real for many. And each day, this journey of life, some might call it unpredictable. You never know what you are going to encounter from day to day, from hour to hour, from minute to minute. You see loved ones come and pass along on to the next journey. You see people, acquire and have and benefit, and then in the next breath, lose everything. So, often in any of these situations, what is common is that nobody saw it coming. In other words, we experience a reality check in life that we don't really know what we will encounter tomorrow as much as we prepare for it today. We could say that, preparation for today may improve the likelihood of whatever we encounter tomorrow, but not knowing, you understand, it always puts us at the mercy of the Most High. So I'd like to start there. There's a few things that I want to share with you this midnight. Many of you are probably asleep and will likely view this at a later time, but hopefully you'll view it all the same. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. That will help in ways. But let me share something with you, of a recent experience, right? I was, everybody's got a struggle that they're going through in life. And, it's always interesting to me that while, I may cry and woe about my own struggle, and there's no ease or comfort in that all by itself, but, I find that there's someone struggling, at a much greater level or greater quality than I find myself. And then it makes me feel, some kind of way, you know, um, kind of like, you look in the mirror like, wow, here I am crying about this, but they have this to cry about, which, if I'm suffering this, I don't even know if I can bear to suffer, what they're crying to me about. And, it, it, it builds in me a sense of sympathy, a sense of regard for people that you know, whose struggle is harder or more challenging than the struggles that I find myself. And so, you know, being, you know, the type of person, you know, that I strive to be every day, you know, I always, you know, it's always beating in my heart a desire to do what I can, you know, to help and show, you know, that, hey, you know, if anyone hears you, if anyone, uh, you know, is listening to your situation, I'm one of those that are listening to your situation. Um, I understand that, you know, even myself as an individual, you know, I can only do so much, but I always like to try to at least exert whatever skills, whatever tools that I have to help other people. And so I desire to do that tonight because I like to keep my word and I like to, you know, live by certain standards. Um, it's a struggle. I'm not sure if many of you have been paying attention to like the news concerning like, you know, northeastern Ohio. If you look, you'll see that I think I might be able to bring something up, and I'll set the table with this. Give me just a second here, because I was debating on whether or not I would start off like that, but I think I will. Let's see. And I thought it was kind of interesting the way the media has been putting the, you know, the content out about this. You know, the different regions in Ohio uh, that they were speaking on and how they were speaking on it. Let's see today. Yeah. Okay. But just so you can kind of know what I'm talking about, let's go ahead and share what's been going on in Ohio these past few days. And before I do that, I want to go ahead and put a disclaimer out like this. Put that one there and follow it up with this one here. Let me see if I can share this page. Yeah, this is the one I think I was looking at. This is to give you an idea of what folks have been going through these past weeks locally. There we go. In this commercial, so you bother with that. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can share this screen here, or that page, I should say. So let's play it out.
6:30, left in the dark.
What can I do? It's an act of nature.
Strong storms tearing through northeast Ohio, leaving hundreds of thousands without power this morning.
It was very frightening because I've never seen anything as bad before.
Trees uprooted and ripped from the ground, crashing down on cars.
It's sort of irreplaceable. It's right-hand drive, and it's just a real rarity, and they're so darn cute.
And homes.
I was actually upstairs looking out the window, and it just fell on the house and my car.
But many are thankful this morning that it wasn't worse.
Blessed, definitely blessed, because it could have been a lot worse.
How are you holding up?
I'm
You're all right. Yes, God, I'm still here.
Yeah, that is the theme this morning. People thankful despite what has happened. This morning, the number of people still without power is staggering.
Yeah, small miracles all across Northeast Ohio yesterday for sure. According to First Energy's website, more than 331,000 customers across the state waking up in the dark this morning. Now, here's a closer look at the impact right here in Northeast Ohio. The worst area right now, Cuyahoga County, with more than 200,000 First Energy customers without electricity. Lake County has more than 50,000 customers waking up in the dark. Geauga County has more than 24,000. Lorain, roughly the same number there, 24,000 customers without power.
So we have our crews spread all across Northeast Ohio, showing you the worst hit areas. But first, we want to check in with meteorologist Trent McGill. And Trent, you were here last night watching these storms as they tore through Northeast Ohio. I know that I was watching you. So many people were in very down.
Put it right there. Okay. Why? Because this is more of the neighborhood that I myself am associated with. And the fact that you're able to see me live right now is all courtesy of the gas electric generator that I'm running off of right now. You know, you have to keep filling it up every 7 hours, but for what it's worth, I'm at least able to get a few things up and running. But I don't want to make this isn't about me per se, but I wanted you to get an idea of what's been going on this week in Ohio, northeastern Ohio, Cleveland to be exact, right where we are. But if we were to go 2 days before this, something terrible happened to a family, and I want to share to you, the conversation that I had with this family, because I was sitting at a table, kind of nursing the wounds of going through like what you see right here. Like literally these scenes like you see in this clip right here by Channel 5 ABC is in the streets right now that we're living in. And, even in the street that I live in, we saw a lot of things, power lines, big power lines, not small power lines, big power lines were down, blocking the street. They had to barricade many of the streets. Chimneys from houses were crashing down. Huge trees were ripped apart like, pieces of paper. But 2 days before that, a family suffered a very tragic situation. Their house was burnt down. And this is what I would like to share with you, if you don't mind. If I can get this back up again. The conversation that I had about this situation. Let's see if I could get this up. Okay, there we go. 1 second here. All right, pardon me there. Now all I have to do is stop this screen and share this. And I should be able to share the audio as well. Well, here, you know what I could do? I just thought about this. I could play it in the browser itself. All right, let's try it this way. I'm going to play it straight from the browser. Yeah, there we go. 2, 3. Peace and blessings, dear family. This is your brother Abdul Wadud, aka Quest Man. We have a family here with us today, and this is the mother of that family. I would like, to ask you a few questions. Recently, this family has experienced a very major, situation, a critical situation that has put them in a state of need, an emergency. Can you tell us your first name?
Octavie.
And you are married?
Yes, married with 2 children.
Okay, so I see you. You recently presented me your GoFundMe.
Yes.
Can you tell us what happened?
Yes, well, this past Sunday on August 4th, we had a house fire, and all our belongings, everything got burnt up. And then we found out that our landlord did not have any type of insurance, house insurance or anything. So we called American Red Cross. They gave us a little bit of money that we used on a hotel and some Ubers.
Okay.
So that ended last night. The night before last was our last hotel stay. So and I've been calling the resources they gave me. The shelters literally they have 50 families on a wait list right now.
Wow.
I guess due to what happened here with the tornado or whatever.
Yes.
So we ended up sleeping outside last night, and I have to get on the phone soon here.
So basically, the timing couldn't have been any worse than right now. Now, how severe was the fire damage? Did it take the whole house, or just like a part of the building?
The whole house, but they said it would take a long time to fix everything.
And again,
like I said, he doesn't have house insurance.
Wow. And this is a mother of 2, a married, a wife and mother of 2, I should say. And so what have you been doing so far? I know you mentioned the Red Cross, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, what have you been doing to try to better the situation? Right.
Now, another downside is I work from home, so that's a downside too.
You want to share what you do for work? What do you do?
I just work from home on a computer.
Okay.
Customer service.
Customer service. All right, and I would take it that the young ones are in school.
Yeah, well, summer vacation, but school starts back in 2 weeks.
So that's another challenge that'll be coming up. Is that without the home, the school situation could be a challenge.
They've given me a lot of resources. I've been calling, but I'm getting a lot of voicemails. So I've been bugging a lot of people and getting no responses.
So you do have a GoFundMe set up.
Yes, I do.
Right? Can you share the name or the title of that GoFundMe?
Yeah, Family of 4 House Fire Took Everything.
Family of 4 House Fire Took Everything.
Yes.
So what I want to say is I can see that you're a strong family. I don't see any signs of despair. I can see that the struggle is real.
Yes, it is.
So, my hope is that I can, share this with my viewers, and perhaps, some brothers and sisters that watch my channel, will be able to, express some sense of support. And man, my prayers are definitely with you. I'm just trying to take in the whole scenario, because it's like, if you could just imagine people. You said this was Sunday, right?
Yes.
So Saturday, everything was cool.
Yep.
Video games, whatever.
Yep.
And then Sunday comes, it's all gone.
Yep, just like that.
Clothes.
Yep, everything.
House.
And we live paycheck to paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck. So this is definitely a setback.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, my prayers are with you, and I like to be a person that's not just prayers are out the mouth, but also someone that tries to do what I can to show support. So with that said, peace and blessings. Let's see what happens.
Thank you very much.
I hope you were able to hear that pretty good, the sound quality and everything. I tried to get, so that it was, the audio was loud enough. Yeah, I'm just thinking about the fact that, like in a situation like that, when you're the place that you're living is burnt down to the ground, is burnt, and it's not the first time, I've been around or heard about something like that. In fact, there was one time that I actually saw an entire house burnt down to the ground, and the fire trucks came out, but there wasn't so much they could do to it except for make sure that it didn't spread to the other houses. But they had to actually let the house burn down. And fortunately, at that time, nobody was in the house. But here, here's a family that, was living in their house, and they've lost everything. And now, I know that the lady had told me that for at least 4 days, Red Cross, had provided them like hospitality in 4 days of a hotel stay, so that way they had some form of shelter. But those days have exhausted, and I mean, I can't imagine what they might be doing now. This is a mother, this is a wife and a husband, and with children. I imagine that the husband is doing what he can. I was able to meet him as well. Um, I imagine he's doing what he can, what he's able to try to, keep the work going on. But I mean, that can't be easy for both the adults and the children. And this is an experience that no parent wants to have to share with their children and have their children experience. Like she said, the children are in school, and how do you go to school and your classmates are going home to their houses, and you got to tell your classmate or whatnot, hey, I don't even have a home now, it's been burnt down. How are you able to even stay focused, your work and things like that, when at home, you were, well, not even at home, I can't even say it because the home is burnt. But how do you cope with that and then go back to the family after school, and try to find time to think about that and your schoolwork at the same time? That's got to be a lot on their plate. So you will find in the description of this live their GoFundMe link that they shared with me. So make sure you check out their GoFundMe link. And for those of you that are able to help out whatever you can, I'm sure they will appreciate it. I know some of us are struggling heavily ourselves, but even then, I like to try to find amongst us that those that have the heart to help other people. You understand? I think that we're in a day and age where the statement when we say we're all we got is very, very true. I showed you the storm, the tornado. There was literally tornadoes running through the neighborhood. I woke up to you get the national notifications on your phone, right? When an amber alert or severe weather alert. Well, I woke up to the severe weather alert, and it was telling me tornadoes had been spotted right in the neighborhood. So, and immediately when it said that, my windows are pounding and everything, and I'm like, oh man, don't tell me that I'm waking up right in the middle of a tornado. And I can remember looking outside the window, and the the heat of the storm, so to speak, the heart of the storm was right there. We were actually able to see the storm itself, the tornado itself. I know there were some tornado sightings in other locations in northern Ohio, Parma. I think Avon saw one, or at least saw a stronger a wind storm or whatnot. But just imagine that. And the thing that was interesting to me, I kind of got some courage, and I decided to be nosy about this tornado, and peek outside my door, because I was looking out the window, the bedroom window, and I could see that debris and everything was flying around, literally just large pieces of stuff. But I needed to know. So somebody said, why did you go to the basement? I was going to go to the basement. It's just that on my way to the basement, I was like, I need to see what's going on for some reason. And I looked out there, and I could see things like literally huge slabs of tree pieces like the trunk part just breaking off. What do you call it? The water vapor and whatnot being pushed around, and I mean it's wild. And for me, this isn't even my first tornado encounter. Like what you might say face-to-face type tornado encounter. I had another one in North Dakota some years ago, but it's an experience is what I'm trying to share. And whenever I see these type of things, when I see much of anything anymore in my life, I'm thinking about the Most High. Let me say it that way. And I'm thinking about the nature of things. I'm thinking about cause and effect and all these other things. And I think that's what kind of drove me to peeking outside the door to see this, the tornado and what it was doing. But man, of course, like I said, after that, I decided to go inside and go downstairs to the basement. But some people, their homes were really, really messed up. In fact, other things that were happening on my street, you see that there was the house of a lady, an older lady, her, her chimney came crashing down. And that was part of what broke the power lines and made the power line, stretch across the street. And people were, afraid about that because these were live power lines. So some of us decided to take our trash bins, containers or whatnot, the city trash containers that we have, and block and barricade that street off so people wouldn't try to drive over it because it was right there and soaked in water. So if you were like in that area, it could have been dangerous standing over there. I want to share something else with you. I want to share an experience that I had during a conversation with an elder while I was in, one of the places in Sierra Leone, Freetown, Sierra Leone. I want to share this with you. And for me, it's really touching because sometimes you got to think outside of yourself to really connect with the suffering people. And so what I did is I was talking, I had conversations with different people, and among them were some of the elders that I had encountered. And in this case, I'm having an interview with my sister-in-law and an elder that we came upon. And of course, in Sierra Leone, one of the things you're going to know is that people get curious very fast when they see someone with a camera or anything like that, and especially if they know that the person with the camera is from the States. You understand? They get very curious. So you're going to notice that as well. Let me see if I can pull that up on the screen. There we go. So you'll see my sister-in-law, Jami, and also there's an elder sister. Let's take a look. Okay.
This one, development, basically something. So you see, it's hard for her to live in Sierra Leone. Most of people in Sierra Leone, yeah.
And this is the only place you live all your life?
They say if Naya will live all her life. She was living in the village, like where my mom bought from. My mom was the same country, the same village, Kono. It's Kono.
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 She said during
Yes.
She said during the rebel war, during the tough time, they came to Freetown here, but it was hard for them to like find a place, a roof to lie on, food to eat. The rain will fall and wet all of them. She said, "You see, it's really hard for them to leave in
Well,
Sierra Leone."
what I would say is that I definitely understand, and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you, a blessing and will help you make things easier. I mean, I mean.
And
Thank you for your words. Thank you very much.
okay, okay, Mama, thank you.
I think I have another part to that. There was someone else. Here we go. Let's see, right here. I think I found it. Let me share to you this one right here. This is another elder that I encountered in the same. I was in the same market area. And share. Okay.
Oh man, this is something that I think people really need to know. Salam alaikum, Mama. How are you doing? How are you doing? How's the family? Alhamdulillah. How are you feeling today? How is the day going for you?
You say how you dey feel today, how you up and down. She said the only thing she do is when she sell a little, she find what to eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me something, Mama. How do you feel about how has your life been? Because I see that you have much wisdom above all of us here.
She said that how are you coping? When I feel over. We say how life how you dey live at Salon, is it good or rough? Like this time. She said that she normally takes people gifts like the classes that people used to make and sell it. The small thing she had, she used it to eat.
So she sells the classic.
Yeah, yeah, the plazas.
And where is your family?
Say where you family? Okay, she said the family are not basically here. Yeah.
They have left.
Yeah, they are left.
Well, what I
None
can,
of them was here. None of them was here. Where they live here. But you got another except where they live.
what I can say. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. What I can say is at the end of the day, Allah always gives us somehow, some way, a family as a community. And I mean, and at the end of the day, where you may not have family on one level, Allah gives you a family on another level. And I pray that Allah makes your life easier for you, and that you will have better days. And I appreciate the wisdom that you give to us today.
He said, they pray for you. May God help you with the struggle way you go through all these years. May God make easy for you. That anything you put out in, may God make it successful. And saying thank you for when you accept her for me ask you some few questions. Saying really grateful for that. So I told her.
Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
I mean, I mean.
Thank you.
So I'm glad I finally got to share that with you. I wanted to share that with you some time ago. Um, and just, so many things have happened in my life, and it's really kind of slowed down my efforts to do the presentations and do, what we have here, Soul Journey of Life. And so it's been a challenge. I will say that it's definitely been a challenge. But for me, I always like to present to you authentic things that are really upon my chest, things that are really what I would say are concerns in our world, in our communities, in our life. And most importantly, for me, is an opportunity to present things that are not always having to do with me personally, or something like that, but other people, the suffering and the hard times that other people are going through every day. And some people have been going through suffering all of their lives. Many of us, some of us, we complain about at the moment suffering, things that have just happened. And before that, we had been used to, various comforts and easy times and whatnot. No real or major struggles. But some people have been living the struggle literally all their lives. We might think that some of the things we are going through is a struggle, but imagine living that all your life. And even on a heavier scale. Some of the people who are suffering from this storm here in Cleveland, Ohio, are just now, waking up to a different reality than what they're used to. Many people, like the one lady said, are living in places where their homes aren't even covered with any kind of insurance. So when the home is burnt down, it's burnt down, and there's nothing. There's no way to bounce back from it. And some of the homes have been around for a while. You understand? In fact, I had a neighbor who took an old house, and they've been building and renovating it, inside out, but it's still an old house. And there's only so much you can do with an old house. When you think of the wood and how you have to cure the wood and whatnot and things like that, that have reached an old age, maybe there might be some rot that you have to take care of, all these things. But this is real life, family. This is real life. And all I can say is that I would really hope that when you see opportunities to help people, that you leap to it, that you rush to it, and don't let your mind cause you to hesitate. Because oftentimes we think to do something good, and then all of a sudden we hesitate for various reasons, and sometimes it'd be excuses that may not even be valid. We say, well, how do you know this is the case? How do you know this person is doing that? These things, they are realistic. They do happen in the world. People do run game. They do scheme and things like that. But sometimes people are actually truly suffering. You understand? Sometimes these storms, you can Google it. You can Google Northeast Ohio tornado, and you'll see all the different streets that have been blazed by the storm throughout the week. And you'll see houses don't look the same anymore. And they're just now starting to clear things up. Many of us, hundreds of us, so many, I've never seen it with my own eyes up close and personal in all my life, are without any power. You understand? What's interesting is that my home in Sierra Leone, we're used to occasional blackouts, where the power will go out. We're familiar with that. But here in Cleveland, Ohio, people aren't so familiar with that. You understand? And it's interesting because, people were rushing to Home Depot and Lowe's and places like that, trying to buy, the gas generators, right? The gas electric generators, and only to find out that they were either out of stock, or they finally got a new stock in, and the prices were, they increased the prices or whatnot. just, understand that, when people, suffer, there's nothing fun about it. And we need to really look out for each other. If you're comfortable now, why not share a piece of that comfort with someone who's lost everything? That's that mother, that father, and the two children. I got to meet the two children. They're fun. They're full of courage, full of we call it high self-esteem and laughter. Even while they're walking with these basically barefooted and sandals and whatnot, wearing the clothes that they had the night before the house got caught on fire, but still they were in high spirits. I told them, I said, I don't see that you are, I don't feel disparity. I feel like you're being optimistic, but at the same time, I see that your struggle is real. This is something that nobody wants to go through. I mean, what do? You wake up and your house is burnt down to the ground. And imagine, you reach your hand out to your community, and what do you do? I mean, literally, there's so many people that have got all these pamphlet-based answers, and that doesn't always work in real life. You can't, it's not always as simple as go to this place, go to that place. Even the sister was pointing out, that many of the shelters, especially after this tornado situation, has been filled up. So people, even going to even using some of the basic remedies that people are encouraged to do, people aren't able to do that now. They can't go to the homeless shelter. They can't dial 211. They can't get these resources or those resources because they're not available now. Hundreds of thousands of people right now are without power. Hundreds of thousands of people still right now, to this day, as I speak, in Northeast Ohio are without power. Even your brother going at you live right here on Soul Journey of Life. All this is possible because I've got a little tiny $100 generator keeping this little setup alive. And I'm a tech, so I always got to do. I've always got to do things to make it work. But obviously, what I did work, because here I am. But whoa, that's all I can tell you. And the thing about me is I try to keep a smile on my face. I try to keep a high a high morale or whatnot, or whatever you want to call it. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all. I see people, including myself, where inside we're crying a thunderstorm. Outside, you see a smile, you see a shine, but inside is the storm continues. You understand? But I'm hoping that at least I was able to share something. I'll go ahead and put the invite link in the commentary here. If people, perhaps you've had some experiences yourself that you could share. And what I would be more curious about is, what did you do when you couldn't find anyone to help? What was your, how did you navigate your way out of the storm when there was no one to help? Because that's what I tend to experience. I'll put something out there and it comes up empty. But like I said, I try to use reason in the matter. Like, I'm not the only one struggling. And now, really, as you see, my struggle pales in comparison to some of the struggles that I've heard about and had conversations with people about. It pales. And yet we all still have something to bring to the table of complaint. It is real. It is real. But that, like I said, to me, I would be interested in, breaking bread and seeing how different ones amongst us weather the storm when we have no one, when we have no family support or this or that. How do you weather the storm? There's people right now, family, who have experienced even worse than what we're talking about right now in northeastern Ohio, with bombs dropped over their head, having nothing to do with any conflict whatsoever. Not even living in their homes, but living in refugee camps and whatnot, and still getting bombs dropped over their head in a refugee camp. And whatever your opinions are about war, this and that, I'm just asking you to think about, put yourself in a situation. Imagine you're in a camp because you've lost your home. You don't have nothing to do with politics. This is where you live. This is your home. You have nothing to do with politics. So this or that, you're living your life, going to your 9 to 5 or whatever you do to make ends meet. And now you've been pushed into a tent, and still you're watching bombs getting dropped over your head. So all I'm saying here is that all across the world, you understand? I mean, it's a painful thing to think about. How do people live through it? You understand? And I think the only answer I could think about is that often we have no choice. You're alive. Many of us, some of us have families and obligations to our families. So what do? You have to keep on going. You have to keep on trying to find a way. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you'll see fathers and mothers sitting there. You could just almost see the gray starting to form in their hair just from the experience of trying to think of solutions to the problems that they're going through in their life. It is a challenge. And I really would like this message to be to those people who can relate. Oftentimes what I find is that we like to try to direct the message to like people well established and living in the laps of luxury, and kind of pandering to them for support, because we would hope that they would look down at those in need. But oftentimes, many people reach that type of status, and it's like they forget about said people in need, said people suffering. This mother and husband, this wife and husband that I showed the interview I had with the wife. These people don't have a home anymore, and yet they still have their children. They have, they still have to live life. They still have to keep on going. And, so it's just amazing to me. I'm curious, even if people could put in the comment section, even after this live is done, what would you do in that scenario? What if you were sitting in that interview talking to this family, what questions would you have? And what questions, if you were the one sitting in that seat, what questions, what comments, what would you have to say, about, how you plan to get through your predicament that you find yourself in? Like I was saying to them, imagine just the day before you're playing your computer games, your video games, this, that, eating, the dinner that your family prepared, getting ready for whatever you plan to do the next day. I don't know if they go to the church or go to the mosque. I don't know. I didn't get into all that. But just imagine, before you could even do any of that, you wake up and your house is on fire, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't stop it. You can't prevent it. You understand? By the time any type of emergency personnel would arrive to try to deal with the problem, you may not realize it, family, but sometimes certain amounts of damage, these fire personnel will tell you, that the house is done. And like I was sharing with you, sometimes they will let a house finish burning, and they'll do things to make sure it doesn't spread, but they'll let it finish burning because there's nothing more they can do. You know, sometimes it's too dangerous to try to, you know, stop a fire from burning some of these old houses. That's just a reality. Sometimes it gets too dangerous. I remember one report where somebody was trapped in the house and people couldn't even go inside the house because, you know, they were trying to go in there to rescue, but it was the heat. You got to understand, sometimes the heat, the closer you get inside to the source of the fire, the hotter things get. And the more fuel the fire has, the hotter it can get. You understand? Wooden house, all that wood, all that, you know, all the materials from clothes and this and that. So, dear family, like I said, and I say it again, my prayers, you know, my words of encouragement, my heart goes out to the people that suffer in this way, in these ways. And that, you know, I say in my own words, may Allah make easy for you your suffering and your, you know, the pain and the struggle that you are going through. And I intend to, you know, in some other lives, I'll probably, you know, I may share that clip again, just to remind people, perhaps if they, you know, have a desire to help that family. Yeah. So this is what it be. I want to share with you a song or two, and then I'll be concluding this live. And I appreciate those who were able to take the time out to listen. Much respect. I want to share with you Some Days. Some Days is the name of this song.
Westman. Assalamu alaikum. How's it going, family? Got a moment? Come walk over, brother. Just got a few things on my chest. You mind if I break bread with you? Just for a minute? 90 shots, 60 to the body, the beast strikes again against the guard. A moment of pause. Rest in peace, Jay. The sun can still shine on a rainy day. From where I stand, just another black man striving hard. You understand? I write these bars like the 12 tribes. I vibe when I see we come together. I ride like Maya Angelou, come closer. High five like my Baba. Right. Keep the light on bright. What a righteous mess. How do we fight the stress? They say we are divinely blessed, but the weights are pressed on my chest. My soul is on a journey called life. I sigh as I caress the dark melanated skin through the night. As I look and I see manifestations of one divinity. Breathe. It was inside that I holler to the source of the voice of many waters, beseeching the holy powers, signs and symbols. My rhymes not for the simple. That's me standing outside looking inside the window of the light dome. Wanna need to know. Now watch me flow. Some days I just want to be. Some days I just don't want to see. Yet it's often so clear to me. Sometimes things are just the way they meant to be. A burden that I must bear, yet one never too hard to bear. In the mirror, sometimes I just look and stare. Oh, you think you're somebody, but what if I told you what you see is only your perception of reality? And nobody cares about the way you think things ought to be. Walk water cautiously, make sure you walk in a way that's drama-free. Somebody pass me the keys to the heavens. My eyes, I see the God everywhere. Especially when I watch the way she moves. Especially when I observe the glow of the moon. Meanwhile, back in the Noise of the world, the murder, the hatred, the rain falls against the pavement, red and blue lights flash in the distance, black cries why, it was in that instance, I knew the value of life should never be taken for granted, and damn it, the devil's a clear enemy, give the light of God, you can handle it, just hold on to the rope of Allah a little longer, and make sure there's a light on in the dome of each one you're standing with, don't assume or take the risk, the test, the way they're meant for me, the way it's meant to be, after the rain is clear to see, some days I just want to be, some days I just want to be, some days I just don't want to see, yet it's often so clear to me, sometimes things are just the way they meant to be, the test the way they meant for me, the way it's meant to be, after the rain is clear to see, some days I just want to be, just want to be.
Yes, indeed, family. Assalamu alaikum, hotep, shalom, peace and blessings. Have a blessed rest of your day. Take care. Let's see here. I meant to do it this way. It didn't work quite as I had planned. Let's do like that.
Shout out to BTBG Music. Body the beat global. Soul journey of life. Conscious black social media. The light don't.
I had a dream, I could feel it. Can't touch it yet, but I can see it. I gotta bring it into existence. I don't care if no one else believes it. My manifestation. Time to make my vision real. I can make things appear with manifestation.
What to do with all these broken pieces? I've heard my story told so many times. I take a seat to reflect on actions, manifest solutions. Tell my son, get ready to rise. One day will come when you must open your eyes. I sigh to inhale divine breath in this test to avoid the fires of hell along the way. Trials and tribulations awaiting me. Oh well, I'm looking through the eyes of a needle. Give me the keys so I can manifest the way that I roll. Break it away from all the fables. Alexa, turn off the lamp and let go my halo. Moral of the story, keep it real. Through all the burdens of life, no matter the payload. Manifesting my vision, who's calling me? Smart dome versus smart clones. I'm holding home in the zone. You can hear me well if you roam the way I roam. Whenever I roam alone. Quest man, soul journey of life. The light dome.
I had a dream, I could feel it. Can't touch it yet, but I can see it. I gotta bring it into existence. I don't care if no one else believes it. My manifestation. Time to make my vision real. I can make things appear with manifestation.
Father taught me of life and death. First lesson in the casket, watch the rest of peace. Now manifest this honor. I've been through the good and evil, the grime and the polish. Today I stand with the people. Signs of the solid. I stand up and keep it real. All the storms I've been through. A pain to look back. The rain absorbs through my mental. The streets used to call my name. Yet that game's has changed. Through all the years, looking back at the tragedy. Imagine if it had to be done all over again. Damn, would they still seek my face in the sand? And would anybody even give me a hand? Man, fake friends give me poison cookies. I'm laughing but sarcastically. I used to feel so sad and blue. Sometimes I didn't know what to do. These times I get mental and break through. Bump what you say, just manifest what you do.
I had a dream, I could feel it. Can't touch it yet, but I can see it. I gotta bring it into existence. I don't care if no one else believes it. My manifestation. Time to make my vision real. I can make things appear with manifestation.
So much pressure in the air. Wherever I look, seems some folks just don't care. Save a chosen few. I focus through the smoke haze. You notice the God come through. Count your blessings. This is success for divine kings and queens. It seems our blood spreads thick across the screen. The pain you scream from tears. The rated breeze. Supreme inspiration to rise up, make a difference. I reference heavenly hosts manifested in we. Can't you see? When We be heavily covered, only makes one stronger. So long as you never let up. Soldiers, keep your step up, lock and loaded, pass out the roses while you live. Do what to do it, take less than you give. I spit proverbs to the awkward. Those who contemplate divine signs like clockworks. It's Quest Man, just making sure the light works.
I had a dream, I could feel it. Can't touch it yet, but I can see it. I gotta bring it into existence. I don't care if no one else believes it. My manifestation. Time to make my vision real. I can make things appear with manifestation.
The light don't.